that we have the next bear market before that? Yes, right? I actually think this cycle tops, I used to say 150-ish. Now maybe that's a little higher. Maybe we get to the two handle. But, next fall-ish, I'm guessing October, September timeframe, we will have a bear market. There'll be too much leverage in the system, and humans will human, and we'll have another downdraft. Everybody's focused, oh my God, what if it hits 100K? Well, it is going to hit 100K. And then it's going to hit 200K, and then 300K.
Yusko predicts that Bitcoin's next significant price cycle will peak at around $150,000 to $200,000, potentially by late 2025. However, he anticipates a bear market to follow, driven by excessive leverage in the system, a recurring theme in financial markets. As humans are prone to repeating mistakes, over-leveraging is inevitable, leading to a correction. Despite these cycles, the long-term outlook for Bitcoin remains bullish. Institutional adoption, increasing awareness, and global economic instability contribute to its growing appeal. If governments worldwide start competing for Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, the scarcity-driven price explosion could occur much faster than anticipated.
Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space, and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
100K to $1 million, it's not that big a move. It's 10x, right? I mean, it's not that it's not a big move, but it's not that big. The miracle of Bitcoin is not that it's going to hit 100K this week. It's not a miracle. It seems like a miracle. And, Dan Moorhead just posted the thing yesterday. His original Bitcoin fund is up 1,000x. To go up 1,000x in anything is one of the great investments of all time, period. But 1,000x is a lot different than 10x. 10x, a lot of things go up 10x. I mean, not many, but a lot. And so that $1 million, even though the number sounds big, that move's really not even that impressive. And I think baked in, highly likely, when, don't really know. But the miracle of Bitcoin was it went from 0.003 cents to $1. That was the miracle, both in terms of multiple. Like if you were there at the 0.003 cents and you got to $1, now most people would have sold. It would have been long gone, right? Because they made, so many times their money. And there are lots of examples of people bought at 50 cents and sold at 250 and thought they were so smart. But ultimately, each incremental move, and that's why, when people show linear scale charts, I go batshit crazy. It's like long-term charts have to be log scale. They have to be log scale. Because going from 100 to 200, right? That's 100% increase. Going from 200 to 300 is not. So yes, it's 100,000 move, but it's only half as much. And so you have to look at log scale. So again, that's a long answer. Going from 250 to $1 million, that'll happen like fast. Now, is it likely, I think, that we have the next bear market before that? Yes, right? I actually think this cycle tops, I used to say 150-ish. Now maybe that's a little higher. Maybe we get to the two handle. But, next fall-ish, I'm guessing October, September timeframe, we will have a bear market. There'll be too much leverage in the system, and humans will human, and we'll have another downdraft. Now, could that be mitigated by this big FOMO? Look, if the U.S. passes the bill, and then every other government around the world says, well, shit, if they did it, I got to do it. And then we have a whole bunch of people competing for a very, very scarce resource. Because here's the thing, gold, while provably scarce, isn't absolutely scarce, right? You can go mine more of it if the price gets high enough. Bitcoin doesn't work that way. There's only so many, and the ones that are lost or stolen you really can't get them back. Everybody's focused, oh my God, what if it hits 100K? Well, it is going to hit 100K. And then it's going to hit 200K and then 300K. Because it's not about Bitcoin. It's one Bitcoin will always be one Bitcoin. And there's only 21 million. In fact, there probably aren't even really 21 million because there's some that are lost or stolen. So, but one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin. What changes is the unit which people value it in. Like I talk about this all the time. There's never been a bear market in Venezuela for Bitcoin because the bolivar went straight down. So Bitcoin valued in bolivars doesn't have the wild fluctuations like the dollar, the yen, or the euro. And right now, we're back to printing more money. And look, I think the current administration, incoming administration, is better for debt and money printing, which is actually worse for number go up. Like people ask me, well, who do you want to win? I'm like, I actually want someone to win, but I don't really care in the short term because I don't think there's going to be that much difference. So the long term, clearly one side was going to destroy the currency. I mean, the other side, the Democrats, were well on their way to creating the banana republic. I think with a little bit of fiscal discipline, that'll make our lives better, but the number go up will be impacted because remember, one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, but the amount of dollars we're devaluing it against will change.
Yusko underscores the importance of decentralization in the broader financial and technological landscape. Centralized systems, whether in traditional finance or blockchain, are vulnerable to censorship and systemic risks. He warns against reliance on centralized infrastructure like AWS, which could unilaterally disrupt services. Yusko draws parallels between financial debanking and deplatforming, emphasizing the need for resilient, decentralized systems. Bitcoin's proof-of-work mechanism and its unparalleled network security make it a cornerstone of this vision. While there may be multiple protocols and use cases in the future, Bitcoin's role as the foundation of decentralized money is unassailable.
If I have Ethereum and somebody does something better, right? Cheaper, faster, stronger, I should be able to copy paste whatever it is that makes them better onto mine. And that was what I was said about Bitcoin. Someone can fork it, but no one's going to go there because you want the longest chain. And if somebody actually does something better, like SegWit or whatever, you can just copy paste it in and the developers can agree and you got a better chain. So to me, Ethereum should have been unassailable, but for whatever reason, they didn't seem to react to the Solanas and the others that arguably do have faster and cheaper. And someone said this, and I can't take credit for it. I think it might have been Happy Pirate or somebody who said, it might have even been you, who said, if Solana, if Ethereum didn't exist and was invented today, would anybody use it? It's a tough question. And that's no, I'm not like saying anything bad about Vitalik or anybody else. It's just, if you had this other series of chains that were faster and cheaper, now they're not as, I got a lot of trouble with you, mister.
That was you.
Because I was talking about Solana and I talked about the vaporizing transactions and oh my God, the people lost their shit. I'm like, it's true. Truth is an absolute defense, by the way, but they didn't like my term. They're like, no, you could resubmit. I'm like, but if I didn't resubmit, then that transaction is vaporized. And so Solana's made a bunch of fixes. They still go down, but it's better. And so that's, again, long-winded way of saying, I like Ethereum, but developer activity is slowing and it's starting to see increased developer activity in some other chains. And someone pointed out something that I hadn't realized, that, everyone looks at the GitHub numbers and commits. He said a bunch of the commits are bug fixes, and those shouldn't really count. I'm like, that's actually a pretty good point. Unless it's new development for something that's improvement, that probably isn't a good indication of growth. Now, you got things like Ethereum that should be good. It's got real use cases. It's got real community. It's got real developers versus Doge, which doesn't have anything. But now maybe, now that Elon's got his Department of Government Efficiency, maybe they'll make that. I mean, are they going to make that the CBDC? I hope not, but I guess they could, and make it a use case, and then it'll be worth a lot more. Look, I'm bitter because I don't own any Doge, but in fact, it's funny. The day before the election, we had some capital in our fund, and we can own up to 30% liquid protocols. The rest is in equity. And so we said, all right, what are we going to buy? And I go, oh, we should buy Bitcoin because we think, Trump's going to win, and that'll be really bullish for Bitcoin short term. So let's do that. And one of the guys was like, no, we should buy Doge. Doge has way more beta. We are an institutional fund. We are not going to buy a meme coin. We're not. Clearly, we should have bought Doge. Doge is up like 4 times as much. But my youngsters, they're probably richer than me because they play in the meme coins. But it's all good. Money needs to be decentralized, needs to be fault tolerant, and there can only be one, right? There's only one gold. Because, but there's silver and there's platinum. Nope, there's only one gold. And gold has been money, right, for 5,000 years. And so I will argue that, proof of work is critical for that true decentralization and fault tolerance. Full stop. Now, people will argue with me back and forth. Look, I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm a big Adam Back fan, so I love proof of work. So I think Bitcoin is digital gold, and it wins, and I think it will end up in every central bank in the world, and that'll be a big deal. Ethereum has a place, I believe, as a toolkit for the smart contractization of life, right? Everything will be digitized. Every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every collectible car, every piece of real estate, like this hotel I'm sitting in, all of it will be tokenized and digitized, and we're going to need smart contracts. Now, part of the challenge for me still is I like on-chain. I don't want to be on an AWS server with a pointer to the chain, because AWS could call up one day and say, you know what, you're done. Right? I'm sure everybody's watched the Mark Andreessen thing about all the people that have been debanked, right? But debanking is no different than, de-accessing is AWS or Azure could say, you know what, you're off our servers. And then what happens? So I really like truly things that are on chain. And, but that doesn't mean that there can't be more than one protocol.
Yusko predicts that Bitcoin will eventually find its way into every central bank's reserves, solidifying its role as digital gold. This institutional adoption will mark a significant milestone in Bitcoin's journey, driving further demand and price appreciation. Meanwhile, Ethereum and other smart contract platforms will enable the tokenization of assets, revolutionizing industries and unlocking new efficiencies. However, Yusko cautions against short-term price fixation. The true value of Bitcoin lies not in its price, but in its ability to preserve purchasing power in an era of fiat currency devaluation. He emphasizes that one Bitcoin will always be one Bitcoin, and its value relative to fiat currencies is what fluctuates.
Please like and subscribe my channel.